Hello everyone and welcome to my first pick a card reading here on YouTube. I'm very excited about this. I've been thinking about starting my YouTube channel for quite some time now, and I feel like finally the moment is right. And I hope you guys just enjoyed the videos I'm going to be putting out in the future and find whatever it is you're looking for, some advice or some clarity maybe, or something that helps you move forward, whatever it is. As long as it benefits you, I'll be very happy. So let's just start with the first reading today. So for this first pick a card reading, I decided to choose a theme of what to do if I feel stuck. How do I get out of this situation? What the universe wants me to hear right now. So if you feel stuck, uncertain, if you don't know what to do in this particular moment, let's just find out what the angels here or the spirit here or whatever you believe in is here to tell you and give you some guidance. Like I said, this is going to be my first reading, so it's probably going to be a little awkward, so just bear with me. Doesn't really matter as long as you just get whatever it is you're looking for here. So let's start. We have 4 piles as you can see here. Let's start with pile number 1, and I have this beautiful Labradorite Owl figurine. It's one of my favorite beautiful figurines. You see it's kind of shiny. It's pretty awesome. For pile number 2, we have Lord Ganesh. This little figurine I have by my nightstand. It's pretty awesome. Pile number 3, we have clear quartz, and you can see it has some phantoms inside. It's pretty awesome too. And for pile number 4, we have this laughing Buddha figurine. He's just a very happy guy, as you can see. So yeah, just take your time, choose the pile you're most drawn to. For me, I usually just kind of know whichever pile I want to pick. The easiest, if I need some help, the easiest for me would be just close my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and open my eyes. And the first pile I look at is usually the pile I need to see right now. So if it resonates, just keep watching. If it doesn't, maybe try another option or just another video maybe. So yeah, let's just start with group number 1. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful Labradorite Owl. I'm gonna put it right here, and let's see your cards. So we have some oracles, and let's start with tarot for now. So for your past energies, you guys have 5 of Swords. For your present energy, there is 4 of Wands. And for your future energy, we have beautiful 9 of Cups. And for clarifying cards, we have 10 of Vessels, Happiness, which is 10 of Cups in traditional tarot. And there's 10 of Arrows, Instruction, which is 10 of Swords in traditional tarot. So for this group, right off the bat, when I was shuffling the decks, what I got is an interesting thing. It's like you guys are in this moment where it's like a battle of old and new kind of thing. So what I felt, and it will resonate not for everyone obviously, but for some of you, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have this like a strong, like a figure, almost like a father figure, that casts like a strong shadow onto whatever you're trying to accomplish now. So it's like an old way of thinking. Like, so somebody taught you how to see the world, helped you to kind of develop your worldview, and it was their perspective, it was the way they saw it, but they kind of put it onto you and saying, this is the reality, this is how you should look at it, And some time ago, recently I would say, you started to see things under a different light. Maybe you went into spirituality, maybe you found out something about yourself, maybe you started believing in yourself more, maybe you found something that you like more, maybe changing a job or a career, or there is something about just changing your perspective and saying, you know what, whatever I was believing in for so long is not just not helping me anymore, but preventing me from being happy, you know. Even here I can see and just these two cards actually just kind of reminding me of that thing again, you know. Here we even see, like, you know, the instruction, we see like a father figure, you know, he's teaching a kid to do things a certain way, you know, to aim. And this is how I feel about this. So if it's not a father figure, for a lot of you, you've had a person in your life or people in your life. It's not even the toxic people, it's just the people who would kind of use you to get what they want. Maybe you were this person who felt like, oh, I don't have any power, I'm so weak, so I have to use somebody in order to get something, you know, because you didn't, it's like you could not connect to your own power, so you were looking for external sources, for external validation, you know, to get whatever it is. Or you would have a person in your life, even in relationship, you know, who would just kind of like, it's like a narcissist kind of situation when the person is just treating you as a side character in your own movie, you know, which I feel like is kind of passing, you know, already, and it's because it's your past energy, so you moved from that. But what's happening right now is that it's like an echo or like a shadow, you know, because whatever the situation was in your past is just a representation of how you see the world, of how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself, basically, right? So this parent figure, and I still feel like it's, maybe it's a father, maybe it's mother, it's for, you know, it's different for everyone, but this parent figure just kind of had, or maybe a boss, or, you know, someone who you kind of look up to, just showed you a certain things, and you just took it for, you know, for fact. You're like, yes, this is how I live. This is why I feel like it was when you were a kid, you know, because when we're kids, we're kind of like an open, you know, canvas. We're just open for everything, and whatever, you know, the older people would tell us, or some people we see in the position of authority would just kind of say, yeah, you know, whatever they tell us to do, we're like, yeah, this is, you know, the fact, this is the future, I mean, this is the reality. So that's what's happening for you guys. And for you, it's pretty easy to understand what's happening in your life right now. When I say easy, I mean, if you just kind of drop everything, like at this moment while you're listening to this or watching this video, you know, just try to drop everything and just pretend that you're a completely different person who just, you've never lived your life, or you never lived on earth, you know, and just kind of come to this place or meet yourself as if you've never known yourself, and look at your situation without any emotions right now, and realize that you already made all the steps. You already started moving forward. You already said goodbye to certain things. It's just you are pretty much by your habit, you know, you keep doing, like, you still keep doing certain things, but they don't serve you anymore, you know. And you don't even know why you're doing this. It's just because it's just a habit, you know, way of thinking. It's just a habit of doing things a certain way. So if you look at yourself from a completely different perspective, you know, from a perspective of a stranger, you'll realize that you already made the steps, that you already made something that kind of separated you from that toxic way of thinking. It's not toxic for everyone, but for certain situation, for you specifically, it is toxic because it prevents you from being happy, essentially, you know. So maybe you guys wanted to change your career, or maybe there is like a new type of person you like. But there is a significant change that you guys had, and you realize, just like, there is a deep knowing that you, I feel like a lot of you didn't have before. It's like, oh, I can actually be happy, and I can actually have everything I've ever wanted, and I can actually have a beautiful home, and I can actually have this, you know, cozy thing I've never had, and all of that, you know, there was like a epiphany, you know, like a realization that came to you But then the reality hit you and you're like, oh, so what do I do now? How do I get out? Like, how do I move forward with this? What do I do? And I also get like the strong sense of that you guys got into like manifestations, and you like read a lot about it, and I feel like you're fairly new to like spirituality. It's not that even that you're new, because whatever you're reading or listening right now is like, it's nothing new. I've heard this all before, but it's just you had this like a certain patterns of like thought patterns that were literally preventing you from that. It's like, oh no, it's like this, hippie stuff, this kumbaya and blah blah blah. It doesn't work like this. And yeah, it's true. It doesn't have to be, extremely, crazy, as people would put it. It's just whatever ideas came to you, you just have to remember that it's all about the balance. Literally here we can see that it's just your mind is fighting with your heart right now. Your heart is in a different place. You're like, I want this, I just feel like I want this, and your mind is like, no, you can't have it. And it literally sounds like one of your parents tell you, or maybe grandparents tell you, like, no, this is not the way to do. It looks like from one of the like old movies when like, I wanted to be, an artist, and my parents wanted me to be a businessman or whatever, this kind of thing. So what you have to realize, group one, is that you have nothing or no one at this moment preventing you from moving forward. There is little, except for your mind, basically, that was kind of like inherited. The way of thinking was kind of inherited by, your upbringing and all that. Especially for the future energy. See, like the Nine of Cups is an amazing card. It's like a wish fulfillment. It's literally just, it's literally a genie in the bottle. So whatever I want, I get. The Four of Wands is a card of manifestation. It's a card of celebration and the union and wedding and home. For me personally, this card represents home a lot, and like this cozy atmosphere and all that. But also you see the balance here. There's not two ones on that one side and two ones on the other side, and it's four ones. So basically it's also cards that hints manifestation, and like you've created all of that for yourself. You manifested that, you thought about this, you saw it in your dreams, you knew that you're worthy of it, and you got it. And like we see here, you see there's two ones, and there is a 10 of arrows, which is arrows or swords. As you know, it's all about our thoughts, the way we think, and everything that comes with your, basically your mind. And here we see two ones, and we see 10 of vessels, which is another thing. It's all about your heart, happiness, and literally you can see the difference in the energy here. And it's very interesting because in the past energy here we have 5 of swords, and we have 10 of arrows, which is 10 of swords here on one side, and we have 9 of cups and 10 of cups on the other side, of your happiness, pretty much, of your life. So you're kind of torn right now. It feels like it's really hard for you to make a decision, even though you already made the decision. It reminds me of this. I don't know if you watched the Matrix movies. When he when Neo goes to talk to Pifia, right, the seer, and he asks her, he's like, so what do I choose? I need to make the choice. And she's like, you already know what choice to make even before you ask me. It's all you're just looking for is just an excuse why you want to make this choice. So basically what it says is like, we already know what choice we want. The rest of the time we're just looking for excuse. We're just looking to justify why we didn't choose the thing we don't want to choose. And for you, it's like it's literally the same thing here. Like, you want to make this choice, and you already made this choice, but like this old ways of thinking, or this old patterns are kind of preventing you from that. And they're like, no, that's, you don't deserve this, or whatever it is. So you guys just have to I would just suggest drop it and realize that you already made this choice, you're already doing this, and you're literally moving into wish fulfillment, into happiness. And it's not that I don't like when people say, death of the ego, don't listen to your mind and all that. In your case, and then I feel like nobody should ever do that. It's all about a balance of your mind when your mind is befriends your heart, basically, right? So for you here, it's like just listen to your heart more, and allow yourself to believe in yourself more, basically, especially here with the 10 of arrows. It's like whatever you were doing, it's so not working anymore. It's you're so done with this, so you're not going to be happy moving forward doing the old thing. It's not going to bring you any happiness. So just learn to have a conversation with your brain, with yourself, pretty much, and say, what bad can come out if I'll just try this, if I live like this from my heart for 10 days. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Let's just try and see, and you'll see how much happier you'll become. So let's see the advice cards here from the Angel Tarot, which is Knight of Cups. Perception and revelation, discovers hidden treasure, reveals secrets of nature. This is a beautiful card right here, guys. And Seven of Wands. Liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. They expected God. This is exactly what I was talking about just before that, the liberation. That's what you're looking for. But the funny thing is that when you, like I said, when you look at yourself as though you're a stranger, you realize that whatever is you don't feel free of or from, it's just not existing anymore. It's not physical, it's not real, it's something that was really brought onto you some time ago when you just didn't know something, but you are your own person, and it's just time to kind of, step. And it also feels like, sometimes we are so afraid to make this choice towards something new and something we've never tried before, because we just don't want to take responsibility for, like, what if I'm gonna fail, and what am I gonna do after that? It's like, let's just keep it the old way, and it's not so scary, and all that. And that's what you have to understand, that it's like you already feel this emotional frustration without even trying to do something new, so, but you don't want to do something new because you don't want to feel the frustration. So you already feel it, so just tell yourself, what, I'm already feeling the frustration, not even trying this, so it's not gonna hurt to try, And like I said, in your situation here, and I know it's pretty like one-sided or specific for just, I hope it resonates for whoever it resonates, but it's just a very like a prominent theme here, guys. So for the Knight of Cups and Seven of Wands, so what else is there? So definitely Knight of Cups. To me, whenever I see Knight of Cups, it's just there is a hidden truth within your past. There is a hidden secret. There is something that like there is some information in your past that you had, or somebody offered you something. So how I see it is that for a lot of you guys, in your past, you already gotten the offer to kind of change your life, or whatever you're trying to change right now here. You already gotten that offer. Maybe you got maybe somebody suggested a book, or literally said, you should change your job, or what do you think about this person? Do you like them or not? And stuff like that. And your old habits or like thought patterns actually, prevented you from going there. You're like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's stupid or whatever, And you said it not from your heart, but from your mind, literally just repeating the words of somebody who taught you think this way, I don't want to say anything bad about the parents or anything like that. Our parents are are not the ones to blame, obviously, or the figures who were helping us to develop in this world. It's just for some people, when they're not really aware of what they're doing, or if they're not really aware of their own trauma, it's really hard for them to navigate and teach their kids the unconditional love and just the open heart to looking at the world and loving everything. So it's sorry, my yeah, so it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty difficult, for them. So in no way I'm trying to blame the parents, and I'm not saying that, oh, they did this to you or whatever. It's just, everybody can make a mistake, and that's what I see right now. It's just somebody in your past mistakenly taught you certain thing that it's right now you're realizing is not. And if you're looking for this confirmation, yes, it's just the old thing doesn't work for you anymore. You already made the choice. The only thing you do, for whatever reason it is, you're kind of waiting for something. You're like, oh, maybe if I do this and it will come, but it won't, I can tell you, because what you do is, like, you can wait as much as you want, but if you try to manifest something, if you try to change something, not only you have to put your mind and action into this, but you have to put your heart into this as well. So whatever you are trying to see in your future, you don't believe you can have it. Whenever I have some people coming to me for readings, and some people would ask, oh, when I meet the one, I want to meet the one, this, the knight in shiny armors, this kind of person. And the next question I ask, I'm like, do you actually believe you can have this, beautiful, godlike creature you're hoping to get? And the person say, well, I'm not sure, but, when the time is right, I'm going to excuse the police right outside my apartment. Yeah, but I hope I'll get to that level whenever I see them, blah, blah, blah. They're going to help me. They're gonna save me and all that. So no, they're not going to help you, and they're not going to save you. Nobody's going to save you except yourself, pretty much, So you have to realize is that if you want to make a change, you have to believe that you can make a change. To me, I feel like the most important thing is believing in yourself and just believing that you are capable of changing whatever you want to change in your life, So for your oracle card, you guys have the Crystal Path, Mineral Spirits, Crystal Beings. Well, this is a very beautiful card, as you guys can see. It's pretty dark, but yeah, this is a lot. It resonates, at least with me, a lot with what I was just saying. The Crystal Path, so, and when I say the card is dark, the reason it's dark is because this is how you felt this whole time before you discovered this piece of information right here I'm talking about. There is, you kind of felt like you were doing certain things, and they worked and everything was fine. But when you look back after you discovered this new information and you realize that you can have more, you look back and you say, oh my God, there was so much darkness back then, and I felt like it's a normal life I lived, and you see this beautiful, path that leads you to whatever you want in your life, but you're not moving into this you're not stepping into this path just yet because you're afraid, even though you know that it's dark. You're tired of darkness, you want to go into the light, but you're like, how do I start? What do I do? So what would I suggest in this situation here is that start listening to your heart. And like I said, first of all, just try to look at your life as you were your own stranger, as if you were never known yourself. And if you never knew yourself, you don't know your past. You just know your present and where you stand today and where you want to move, in the future. If you look from the moment now to the future without knowing whatever or having the things you lived in your past, you can see that you're already almost there, But if you add all of that. So, oh yeah, but I didn't believe in myself, but you know, whatever the situations are preventing me from going, blah 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 blah. You feel like, oh, there's so much work still, and there is. Yes, there is some work needs to be done, but basically, what you need to do here, it's literally just make this leap of faith, just jump and just believe that it's gonna work. For this group, it's really like I feel like I was just saying so much different things here, but the funny thing is the message here is that you just have to realize that it's for this group specifically, you don't have to put much work. All you have to do is start believing in yourself and loving yourself, you know. Learn how to love yourself, look in the mirror, learn to appreciate yourself, learn to appreciate what you have today, and start putting more and more and more walls with your past and saying, you know, whatever was in the past does not define who I am today. It helped me, and I'm really grateful for that. But I am today in this moment, here and now, and I'm moving forward. So I don't really want to, you know, pretend like make the your problems, you know, that it's like I don't want to say, but I'm still gonna say it. It's just you, whatever you feel like the problem is, it's not a problem. It's only in your mind, and literally, I would give 3 months for you guys, and it's just gonna go away, and you're just gonna be like, wow, it's not even existing anymore, you know, because your half of your being, in even more, is already moving into something new and beautiful, you know. Um, all you have to do is literally close the door, shut the door from your past, and say, you know what, thanks. I've had so much weird and different and good and bad experiences in the past, but they are not defining me, and whoever gave me a certain way of thinking and whoever taught me see the life a certain way, um, I'm just gonna leave it with them, and I want to figure it out on my own, and the world's not gonna end if I start changing my mind and my heart. Yeah, let me just pull one more card for you to just kind of give you this reassurance of that you guys are just going in a very right direction. There's Nine of Cups at the end, and to me, it seems like that it's just gonna come pretty fast as long as you just close this door, you know. And I feel like a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Just close this door and don't be afraid, and literally, you'll have what you need. So we have two cards that jumped out. Yeah, like I said here, there's the moon and there's Knight of Wands. So this dark night of the soul you're going through right now, just start loving this the things about you that you thought were your the great weaknesses, because it will turn out that the things you thought your weaknesses are actually your biggest strengths, you know. It's just this old way of thinking was like, oh yeah, you know, maybe, oh, you are imagining too much, you know. Some strict parents would say, you know, like, stop imagining, you know, stop pretending or something. And it's like, no, this is actually what you need right now, the imagination, you know, to kind of lead you forward. And I know that your logical being, you know, listening to me right now says, oh my gosh, it's just so much stuff he's talking about. Like, what does he even talk about? What is it like? What do I have to do? You know, I lived the life and everything was fine and whatever, but how do I change it? How do I change it? And the question is like, stop asking your question, you know, how do you change it? Just concentrate on the answer and start doing things, you know. Start doing things you want, start liking yourself more. And I feel like I said again, the journey, like the action you need to take here, the most important action, it's just kind of within yourself, you know. So whatever information you get on how to start liking yourself more or loving yourself more and believing that you deserve, start working on that. Once you start doing that and saying goodbye to your past and past ways of thinking, it's all going to change for you. And I give you 3 months, and within, if like, I'm just strongly getting this 3 months period. I don't know why. So hopefully within this 3 months, and it's not that you'll see a change. It's literally feel like this group is, it's just, I don't know about the rest of the groups, but this group feels like the change will come so fast as soon as you close that door. Yeah, I feel like that's it. I hope I made myself clear. If you have any questions or yeah, whatever thoughts you guys have, just leave it in the comments down below. And if it resonated and helped you, I'm really happy. And if it didn't, just try to look for another pile or another reading. Thank you so much. I wish you love and light. Love yourself more. And yeah, just not even love yourself more. Start liking yourself at first, and the things will change for you really fast. And close that door. Bye, guys. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this beautiful Lord Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. And for this group, particularly, when I was shuffling the decks, I've noticed this huge wave of like energy, and in my mind I named it like a wild group, because you guys got the most cards. You like, whenever I wanted to pull one, there was 2 cards. When I wanted to pull 2 cards, it was 3 cards. So you guys definitely have some urgency to whatever you're asking about. And yeah, let's see what it is. So I have some oracle cards here. I'm gonna use it later. And let's start with the tarot. So for your past energy, you guys have 4 of Pentacles. For your present energy, you guys have Strength. Okay. For your future energy, you have the Fool. And now I kind of see why you guys are freaking out a little bit. For your clarifying energy, we have 6 of Arrows, Transition, which is 6 of Swords in traditional tarot. And the Moon of Water, which is the moon. Wow, yeah. Big difference from group number 1, where you guys have, in this 5 cards, you have 3 major arcanas, and now I kind of get the idea why it felt so urgent. Because when I was pulling the cards, I don't look at the cards, because I just want to kind of reveal it and just feel the energy together with you here. Yeah, interesting. So the first thing I feel here is actually 2 things. It's the fear, and it's just something tells me I'm extremely tired. I'm just so tired of this, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to do. Maybe whenever we're all stuck, we kind of feel the same thing. But for this group particularly, it's the fear and just like the dread for some reason, I feel, So let's start with the past energy here is 4 of Pentacles, I'm getting a few things, and it will resonate for different groups, obviously, but the strongest one here is some sort of a relationship with emotionally unavailable person or people. Maybe even when you felt like you have to be emotionally unavailable in response, because you couldn't get the emotion from somebody. The emotion, by the emotion I mean some sort of response. It's like if you're an extrovert and you're trying to date an introvert, it's really hard to like know what's on their mind and how they feel, this kind of thing. If it's job related, it's definitely a thing where you felt like you put so much effort and you don't get anything in return. And generally, it's some sort of situation where you were holding onto something for so long because you're just, it's like it's just, I don't know if I can say it, but it's like a Stockholm syndrome, when you just completely, you hate the circumstances you're in, but you just don't want to let it go because whatever you have today, it brings you, weirdly brings you comfort, because at least you know how tomorrow and the day after tomorrow will play out. It's like you know, you don't like the circumstances, but at least you have the comfort of knowing what's going to happen. But at the same time, you feel extremely unhappy and you feel like it's just not working anymore. And the funny thing about this situation is not even that you just have to fight with it, you just have to um, put walls and like run away or something like that. It's not even about this. It's just, it stopped working a long time ago. If it's the marriage, it doesn't work. If it's the relationship, it doesn't work. If it's the job, it's just not fulfilling anymore. If it's you who are in the position of not giving something to someone, maybe it's time to let this person go as well, because you will not be able to give them what they want and you will not get what you're looking for. But this is the past energy, so it's kind of what you're moving from, and it feels like you already, like the group number one, you kind of made this first step, or even at least you set an intention to change something, and now the things in your life are starting to change, or it looks like it's going to be a change, and the first thing you get is extreme fear because you don't know what's going to happen in the future, and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? How do I change it? How do I fix it? What do I do? Do I hold on to this old thing, or do I move towards something new? And yeah. It's I just feel like all I feel here is that I'm so tired. Like it sounds like you tell, or some of you would tell yourself, I'm so tired of this. When is this going to be over? Like it's just, I don't know what to do. I'm just so done with it. But then you feel like you can't move. You can't leave the situation behind. So what it tells me here, the Six of Arrows transition and the Moon of Water for the clarifying energy. Definitely the time of, the transition, as we can see here. And definitely the moon talks about revealing opening some things that were hidden from you for a long time. And the Fool for the future energy literally tells you that this is the only way to go. Just, literally just not, I wouldn't say give up everything, but just kind of start anew. And you don't want to hear that. You're like, I don't want to start anew. I've done this before. It's so tiring. It's going to take away all my energy. But what you don't know is that whenever you tried to start something, it felt like it brought you to the same thing over and over again, because you've never considered the fact that this moon shows. You've never considered the fact where you actually, instead of looking for external sources of like external validation or some sort of like external, how do I say it, indulgence maybe, you didn't quite look within, and you didn't recognize your own beautiful things within yourself. So what I'm saying is that this moon shows that there's certain things, there's if it's the job again, it's a certain hidden talents, or if it's a relationship, it's just certain things that the partner you had never recognized in you, and you've learned to kind of not see it as well, and So this time, when you start something new, you just have to realize that you've been hiding this beautiful talent from yourself for so long. It might be some certain things that you like to do when you were a child, or maybe you're just extremely, and it feels like you are extremely, um, not, I would say passionate, but also sensitive, And you lived in the world that says, the sensitive is not the good thing. The sensitive people are weak people, and all that. And you kind of learned and taught yourself to be more, like stronger, as I would say, even though being sensitive doesn't mean weak, So you thought, okay, I'm just gonna be stronger, so I'm not gonna give out these emotions. I'm just gonna kind of close my heart, and I'm just gonna be like this, Four of Pentacles, and I'm just gonna look for this external sources of validation, the money or the career or something else. It's just gonna kind of, I'm just gonna hide behind this, and so I don't have to show my sensitivity to other people, and especially here, especially with this transition card, it feels like there was a trigger of a sort. When you looked in your life and you said, you know what, and you know what, I'm done with this. Like I can't do this anymore. This is how I feel, and this is what I want. And then a certain situation that kind of puts you in the position where you kind of forced to use this gift of yours. Sensitivity would be for some people, because I view sensitivity as a gift, because you actually can, if you're sensitive enough, you can feel other people's energy, and you can create beautiful art, or you can just trust your gut and get the answers you want within seconds. Yes, of course, if you don't learn how to work with this, how to deal with that, it's going to be extremely hard for you to be around people. And that's another energy I'm getting. It's like you're an extrovert who kind of taught yourself to be an introvert. You kind of closed from the external world. You close your heart from the external world. You just put this certain persona. You're showing to everyone, this is who I am. I am very strong and independent, and whatever it is. But when you go to bed, you are by yourself. Feel you feel this, how do I say it, you feel this desire to be loved. You feel this desire to create something beautiful. You like, like secretly, like all this like very like too sweet, like romantic movies and all that stuff. Like you like that, but you're not allowing yourself to kind of be like that. So if you're looking for some sort of advice, I would say the time is just perfect for you to get rid of all of the things that are preventing you from opening your heart and be your true self. And it's now I kind of see that it's different in a way from group one, when they had this. And if it will resonate, you might go and check them out as well. But as for them, it's like their mind was preventing them from opening their heart. And for you already have such a beautiful heart, like of gold, literally loving and all that. But then for whatever reason, you just put on this, I would say, like a rock kind of in front of you, just try to like scare people away and say, this is what I am, and this is how I have to operate in order not to get hurt, pretty much. So like I said, you guys, the advice for you here is to move forward, but let go of all the things that are preventing you or don't recognize your sensitivity or don't recognize your um, like sophisticated nature, I would say. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, you just have this beautiful, your very beautiful sense of self. And this is funny because a lot of people who know you, they actually, you never showed it to them, so they see you as this, strong and independent, and I'm going and doing whatever I want. Or maybe just like, oh, this person doesn't show much emotion, so like maybe this way. Or just like extremely just like a bomb kind of person who's like, he's quiet for some time, they blow up, this kind of thing. But underneath all of that, you're just extremely loving person and extremely beautiful. And it's very unfortunate that you guys live in the time where all that, sensitivity and just being open-hearted considered as weakness. And this is really upsetting. But for you, my dear group 2, you have this beautiful time right now. This is a transition. Yes, it's going to be scary. Yes, you don't know what's going to happen. Yes, whatever's going to happen in the future, you don't know either. But that's the beauty of it. It says stop controlling things. Stop trying to control things. All you need to do, look into your fear in your eyes, pretty much. All the things that you're creating in your mind and be like, oh, this might happen, or this might happen, or this might happen if I make this move, if I start doing this. Literally look this fear in the eyes and say, is it that scary, whatever might happen? And you realize that whatever we think of what might happen, we create this monster out of the fears we have. But once you look in their eyes, once you start recognizing them, you'll realize that your fears are like little, like little minions. They're not scary, and it's just a protective mechanism, pretty much. And you've been protecting yourself for a very long time, and I understand that you probably had this cycle after cycle that was kind of preventing you from, or you would just like start something new and just go back to the same thing. And I understand that it's tiring, and I understand it's really hard, and you're afraid to start something new because you're like, yeah, it's going to be the same thing. No, this time it's not going to be the same thing, because this time you're going to learn to recognize your power. You approach everything with love, and you will not try to control whatever's going to happen, because the future energy, the Fool, is literally the new beginning. But the new beginning, the Fool energy is beautiful because it's the first arcana of major arcana of tarot, and it's literally like the 0 point. You can become whoever you want. So it's like our inner child who believes in anything, that anything could happen. And yes, the Fool is a little bit unreliable, and yes, the Fool is a little bit, somewhere like head in the clouds and all that, but that's what you're missing right now, because it feels like you have so many people around you who are very like materialistic. Or maybe I feel like some of you working in this, like it's like an office job, like for like a corporation kind of situation, and it's just everyone's kind of the same, and you look around and you play the part, and you being like other people as well, pretty extremely unhappy with this, guys. And it's just the transition was already started, so don't be afraid. That's just trust the process. Look at your fear in their eyes, and recognize that it's not so scary. We just kind of created the monster out of like a little minion, like I said. And learn to bear your heart, and don't be afraid that somebody's gonna hurt it, because you have so much love. Once you kind of start recognizing this love within you that you have for other people, and you start seeing it as a strength, you'll stop coming across people that will try and hurt you. Yeah, let's see other cards, and then we'll just get some clarification here. So for your angel tarot and for your advice here, we have Judgment, another major arcana. God hidden in darkness, atonement of errors, destroys the power of enemies and humiliates them. Beautiful. The Tower, Uriel, the fire of God. Sorry. Disruption, warns of disasters, aids in transformation. The Tower, another major arcana. You guys have so many major arcanas here. And Nine of Wands, the God of impenetrable secret, universal medicine, elevation of the soul, and the revelation of mysteries. These cards are just insane. It's my favorite deck here. It's the Angel Tarot by Travis McHenry, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, so the Tower, Judgment, and Nine of Wands. I love this. I love this spread, you guys. First of all, the Nine of Wands always says about like in traditional tarot, it's the cards that says, the worst times are behind, and it literally shows the person who've done things a certain way, a certain time, and whenever they approach to the moment of something new, they're like, oh my God, the same thing's gonna happen. I just don't want my heart to be broken again. I just don't want this. Like, I'm so afraid. So it's like basically you're just kind of on the lookout for trouble, And this card is the best, in my opinion, is the best reminder that's like the harshest time are over. And specifically for this group is over because now you guys are aware of your own power more, and you don't want to pretend that it's a weakness because somebody was telling it's not your power, it's your weakness. No, this is your power, and you stepping into your power. Yes, it's scary. It's a new energy. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's fine. This card only reminds us that the worst time is over. It's always darkest before the dawn. It's going to be from here on, regarding the question you have, it's going to get better. It's not going to get worse. So the Tower, another thing that I was kind of talking about is that what the Tower does. The Tower takes everything that's we holding on to. It's like a change, like a sudden change. Like I said, there was some sort of a trigger that kind of pushed you to maybe some of you change, especially now. It's a timeless reading, but especially now, maybe some of you lost the job or the relationship, or there's some sort of like a transition that's going on in this moment. But yeah, and the Tower kind of shows us the moment that it's, don't be afraid of this because it's taking away only things that you're holding on to and that they're not serving you. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's comforting to have something that you used to have all the time, but it's gonna be for the best. This is why you feel so much fear, because it feels like you're just kind of like losing things that you were supposed to like that you're just so used to, basically, and you felt like, oh, I'm gonna have it like for the rest of my life or whatever, and now it's kind of, you're kind of losing this, but it just doesn't serve you anymore. And all you guys need to is to, and I know it's gonna sound a little bit like crazy when I say it, but you just need to relax a little bit and realize that it's not as bad as you think, and it's actually for your own good. It's just at this moment right now, it's really hard for you to see it because it's just whatever the situation is. You're just so used to whatever was going on. So let me just clarify the Tower. I don't know if not everyone does it, but I like to see in the Tower what goes, like what comes and what goes with the Tower. So what Tower takes away with it, and here we see King of Swords, and what comes instead of it, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's just beautiful, guys, because and Seven of Wands here. Yes, it feels like the times when, first of all, yes, it takes away of certain. You used to see your path. You know, you knew how your life's gonna go for some time. You know, I know how tomorrow's go, and the week after tomorrow or whatever. You had a certain plan, and yes, you don't have this plan anymore. And but the good thing, you can stop fighting for whatever position you used to fight for. Maybe it's in a relationship where you had to prove your point over and over again. This all goes away, and all this critical thinking, you know, and just not allowing yourself to, pretty much like I said, because the King of Swords is the kind of person, he's cool in the sense that he sees so far away, and so far along, and he's like pretty, he's a critical thinker, he has a plan and he knows what he's doing. But the problem with King of Swords is that his heart is kind of closed. He doesn't know, he doesn't feel much, in my opinion, you know. And this is how you kind of try to portray yourself in the past, or you were dealing with this sort of energy where it's like very logical, very strict, and in some sense, but it's far away from the full energy from this inner child who is just happy to be alive and just happy to do things, you know, they're doing. And the Judgment here is just another reminder, that, you know, it says destroy the power of the enemies and humiliates them, you know. So pretty much the Judgment is another card that shows me that it's like your karmic debt is paid, you know, it's done, forget about it. It's gonna be scary, and whatever the life you thought you lived and you're gonna live, it's not the life for you. You were meant to do more big, like greater things, you know. You have such a beautiful heart, you can create amazing things, you know. And this reading is just a confirmation for you guys that it's time for you to start stepping into your power, recognizing your power, and doing something you've always wanted to do. And especially cut away people that don't recognize your power. This is really important as well. So the Judgment here says, yes, whoever you were dealing with, if there is a certain sense of somebody who is maybe working against you, or you're afraid of someone in particular, this is going to go away pretty soon, you know. As long as you accept, like I said, as long as you accept your power, as long as you open up your heart and just start lovingly look at the situation, and stop sending the, because you know that where the energy goes, where the mind flows, the energy goes. That's what people say. It's like stop pay attention to all the people that like you feel like you're working again, or you have to fight or something. Don't pay attention to them, don't send them more energy. It's like certain people just kind of live for that, you know, like they like the drama, they like the energy, or maybe it's your boss, because I feel like some of you have this like work situation when you kind of feel used in a sense, you know. And it's like, don't fight this, just walk away, because you deserve so much more, you know, and they don't deserve your beautiful energy, because you just used to, like, you have so much to give, but you just used to kind of give zero value to what you have to put on the table, that people internally recognize that you have so much, so they take it, but they pretend that you give nothing, you know. So let's look at your oracle cards. That's the Leap, and it's pretty much, you know, the Fool card here. It's the Leap. It's the card of, like, you know, because the Fool made this beautiful leap and he walked through the rainbow bridge, and literally started flying, you know. And the Kindred Spirits, the spirit of compassion, guides, and comfort. This is a beautiful card. It's a little bit dark, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, guys, this is you, you know. No matter what you learn to, how you learn to show yourself, you know, and portray yourself in the external world, you are this this beautiful spirit, you know. You are here to guide others, you know, and you have so much compassion, you know. And the thing is that you guys used to just hide it and like suppress it for so long, you know. So I don't know if it's a weird thing to say, but I feel like you guys need a good cry and just kind of let it all out, because you have so much to give. Like I said, it's just kind of been suppressed for a little while. Also, this card shows me that you already have some sort of guidance, and you already get some sort of, like, maybe you look in this, pick a card readings, and you kind of look for some sort of guidance, some sort of science. So I would say, whatever the system you believe in, start connecting more to your spirit guides, to the guardian angels, whatever, like I said, like whatever you believe in. But you already, well, I feel like you're already noticing all the synchronistic numbers, the 1111 on the clock, or 444, 777, all that. Look it up, because this is an extra guidance for you. And yeah, the comfort, that's what I like. This is what you're looking for as well, because I in the very beginning, like I said, you feel kind of tired, and you're like, oh, just like, when is it going to be over, and it will be over as soon as you just as soon as you stop feeding this, whatever situation it is. Don't feed this anymore of your precious, beautiful energy. It's like, if you have $10,000, you would carefully think how you will spend it. Won't just give it away. You're like, okay, I just have to buy this, I'll do, like, you'll carefully calculate everything, how will you will or maybe you'll invest this money, or something. You'll think about this for a little bit. But then when it comes to our energy, this is the essential thing that creates everything. We just give it away without thinking. And treat your energy as you would treat your own kids, or even the money, because it's like a physical representation of the energy, in a sense. So find, like, give power to something that really matters in your life. And the lip, it's just a beautiful card that kind of really pairs up with the Fool, because it's literally the saying about the Fool. He was walking by the edge of this canyon or the mountain, and then he jumped, and then he flew away. Or in another saying, he just walked through the rainbow bridge. And this is what we see here. What it says basically is that don't be afraid to make the step into the unknown, because you're like, I can't stress it enough, your beautiful heart, your very beautiful soul will just lift you up, and you will live the life you've never thought you can have. Freedom, that's the probably the most important thing here, and that's what you're longing for a very long time. And like I said, if you want this external freedom, just free your heart and your emotions first, and then you'll just get to that point pretty fast, I would say as well. So work through your fears, open up your heart. It's not even open up your heart, just recognize your power within your heart, and make this step forward. Don't be afraid. This your spirits, and the spirit and the God and the universe, whatever you believe in, is just telling you would be supported along the way, as long as you realize that you're not alone, and you have more power than you ever thought you have. Well, I think that's it for this reading. I hope you guys resonated, and yeah, I love this energy, and just your beautiful hearts. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. Since it's a new channel, if you like the reading, just give me subscribe, or whatever people say there. Yeah, I think that's it. It's just sorry, it's just a very beautiful thing. Yeah, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll answer you directly. Thank you guys so much. It was a beautiful reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose this beautiful clear quartz. Let's see your cards. You have some oracles as well as tarot. Let's start with some tarot here. So for your past energies, you guys have 8 of Pentacles. For the present energy, 2 of Wands. Beautiful. And for the future energy, 4 of Swords. Okay, so for the clarifying cards, I had 2 cards for each group, but you guys had the third one popped out. So you have the pole star, which is the star in traditional tarot. You have 9 of stones, which is 9 of pentacles in traditional tarot, and the card is tradition. And you have 4 of arrows, rest. This is interesting because 4 of arrows is 4 of swords in this deck, which is literally the same card here. So let me see for a second and tell you what I feel. With this group, it's kind of similar because for the group number 2, I said the same thing to them, that they feel tired, but there was a different kind of tired. I feel like you guys are a little bit tired at the moment, and the reason why you're tired is that because you've been working on something for quite some time. It might be a job or a relationship, or maybe you're working on yourself, just improving whatever it is. But in the process of doing so, you kind of lost yourself, or started to lose yourself a little bit. It's like, when our motives are not really sincere, whatever we're doing is not turning out as great as we suppose, as great as we hope, or it's like, I always see it as the intention as like a soil. If you do something without pure heart, it's not really good, soil. And if you put a seed there, nothing good will come out, of this. But if it's sincere or passionate or something that comes from your heart, and you put the seed in the soil, and it just grows into this beautiful fruit, that you can take after that. So for you guys, I kind of feel like you've been working onto something, or maybe even you are already like if it's a job related thing, or you already like mastered or working on yourself, on your body or on your mind, like you mastered certain things, but it still does not bring you some sort of pleasure or happiness or fulfillment. That's probably the most important thing, and you still kind of feel lost. So for some of you, I definitely feel like you've been working, instead of working for yourself or doing something you really enjoy doing, you were helping somebody to fulfill their dreams instead of fulfilling yours. For some of you, it's definitely the relationship aspect, is that like, I have to save this relationship, I have to work on that, even though deep inside you know that it's probably not really working out for you, or you're trying to save the relationship when you don't have to save the relationship, you just have to kind of help yourself in a sense, and you're trying to be better for somebody but not for yourself, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that it's like, oh, it's it's this relationship won't work. For some people, yes, but for others, it's like you're trying to work on something, but then it's like you're trying to change something, but you're looking for external validation. It's funny because I feel like I've used this phrase for the first group and the second group, but for you it's kind of applicable as well in this reading here, because you're looking for this external sources of like, yes, validating yourself. You're trying to show somebody that, oh, look at me, I'm doing this and that, or I'm trying so hard. But then, is it your heart's biggest desire. This is why in this moment you feel kind of lost. I feel like is that you've been just doing something, and it's kind of the same thing day by day, and you've gotten pretty good at it, but you don't feel this fulfillment. So this is why the present energy here is Two of Wands, which is literally the choice, and like you see your perspective broadens up, and you kind of see the open field, and you can start moving forward. But you see this man here, he's holding onto this one of the wands of his, that belongs to his castle. So he's holding the world, he's ready to move on, and he knows that he can get somewhere, but he's not really sure yet, and he's kind of afraid to leave this comfortable life he has. For group two, I felt like they had this very uncomfortable situation they're in. For you, I don't really feel that you are in like an extremely uncomfortable kind of thing. It's not that it's uncomfortable, it's just boring, I would say. Or maybe if it's not boring and you're doing something that you enjoy, you still don't feel like you know yourself, so it's all about you pretty much. So for some it will resonate for sure, because it kind of feels like a groundhog day for you. It's kind of the same over and over. And the interesting thing here with this rest and Four of Swords for the future energy, for literally the same card, it's like a significates 2 times, literally tells me that it's time for you to rest, but in a sense, if you're working hard, definitely just get some rest and just chill, I would say. But more so, quiet your mind, because what I'm getting also is that it's like, like sometimes when you go to bed and you sleep for 8 hours and then you wake up and it feels like you've just never slept. It's like you just wake up tired already. And I feel like in your case it happens, certain things of like, I'm just tired, I just want to do it, happens because you've kind of outgrown the thing you're doing. And maybe if it's job related, it's kind of, I wouldn't even see for you like a change, like a drastic change in your career, but it's just more so like moving, just opening up a little bit and just going into the next level within what you're doing. So if you have a store, let's say you have like an online store, an e-commerce, or you work for somebody, right? And you're like, let's say you're selling one product, so maybe it's time to sell more products. Or if you work for somebody, maybe it's time to look for a new position that's higher up. Or if your boss is not giving you this position, go look elsewhere. And the same kind of field, I don't see like I said, like a drastic change here. It's more like for you, the choice here is between comfortable but tired and myself and passionate, pretty much. And what prevents you from getting there is I would say this is your mind that's kind of like, kind of telling you the same story over and over, kind of an old story, I would say. And the tradition card is very interesting here as well, because in this deck it's tells a lot about a certain system that you're in, and whether it helps you or not to move forward. Like in your case, I would say that all the traditional ways are just kind of boring for you. It's just like I don't know, like the energy I'm picking up here is, if it was my reading, I would say I'm just so tired. Like, I'm so, not even tired, but like I'm just so done with this. It's just like it doesn't work anymore. Like I said, the Groundhog Day, like the middle of the movie, when he was like, you know what, I'm just done with all that, repetitiveness. So That's what I feel for you. And the funny thing is that some of you would say, well, I don't even work that much, but I'm so tired anyways. Yeah, because nothing fun is happening in your life. Like, you just guys need to have more fun. You don't have this much fun. Like, I feel like because of the system, because of everything looks, for a lot of you, like your life looks kind of square, if 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 I can say so. Like it's just kind of the same routes every day, and like the same people and the same conversations and the same kind of tasks, and like it's just repeats over and over. And there's like this deep inside, there's a question like, well, is this it for like it? This is it? Is there more to life? Is there more to me? Because the image you have of yourself is a very interesting image as well. It's like um, it's this is why I say you stop recognizing yourself, is because since everything is kind of repeating itself, so you don't even think about who you are and what you are in this sense, like in the general sense, I would say. So I feel like I'm just getting a little bit too, I'm just repeating the same thing over and over. Let's just see and some other cards here. So we have Three of Cups for your advice, which is the right hand of God. Fame and renown influences commerce, voyages, and great discoveries. This is a beautiful deck, by the way. It's an Angel Tarot by Travis McHenry, and it's one of my favorite decks. So the Three of Cups, okay. And we have Three of Wands, beautiful. This is the God of Hope. Construction of the universe, help with great works, protection from adversaries. Yeah, with this, this is the Three of Cups, and this is Three of Wands, and this is the advice for you. And it's now it makes more sense, even more sense to me, because Three of Cups is traditionally is the card of fun, and it's time to the reap what you sow, and it's like, and what you sow, and it's just the time of celebration, when you're getting to the point of when you work hard on something, and it's finally the result is here, so you can celebrate and just enjoy. And generally it's just a card of celebration and just happiness, pretty much. So yeah, and it says even here, you see, it says fame and renown influences commerce, voyages, and great discoveries. This is, I feel like, literally what you guys are missing right now in your life. Like, you want to travel, and this is a timeless reading, and right now, for some of you, we have some uncertain times, and we have some travel restrictions and everything like that, but you can just get your car and just drive out of your town, or literally just go to another store instead of going to the same store. You know what I mean? It's just like, sometimes you think, oh, I want to go travel, but let's say right now you can't, maybe you don't have enough money, or literally everything is closed at the moment. Yeah, I understand, but you can just get a car and just drive somewhere out of your town, and I'm sure you'll find a beautiful place. Or you don't have a car, get a bus, or a train, or whatever it is. It feels like you just guys need a little adventure, and more adventures in your life. But you can start with the small things, just like I said, just try, if you still going to work to the same spots, or if you're still doing the same thing, especially like I said, now everyone is self-isolating and just sitting in the apartments. A lot of people work from home, so I get it. It gets kind of old, but you can still have these adventures. You can still get out of your apartment, and don't I mean, if you're afraid, don't contact people. Just go out in nature, or literally, if you go to the store, instead of going to the closest one, go to the one that across the town. Spend more time, but just bring some change in your life with little things, because sometimes when I feel like, oh, I want a change, but it's not happening, but how do I do it? Because we think we have this grand picture in our mind, and it's really hard to get there because the vision is like so far away. So our brain doesn't really recognize it. Like if we start with little steps, if you literally start doing little things every day, just differently, just cook different thing, or eat different thing, or just literally hold your brush when you brushing your toothbrush when you're brushing your teeth in the morning in a different hand, just like start just make the slight changes, and you will be surprised how even from these little changes, like within a week or 10 days or 2 weeks, you'll see more changes coming into your life, because it's all about the intention at the end of the day. So yes, you guys need just some joy and some celebration for sure. And I understand it's really hard with everything that's going on now. Like I said, it's really hard to focus on joy, and it's like, no, bad things are happening and everything. And I understand, and it's really good to have compassion and try and help others and change something, with all the craziness that's going on. But it's also really important to disconnect sometimes and just say, you know what, I am the most important person in my life, because if I'm not here, that's it, I will not be here ever again, in this certain sense, and in this particular body and in this particular experience. So I have only me right now, so maybe I just need to concentrate on myself, and what I have and what I want, what I can bring to the table and how I can make myself happier, and all that stuff. So for you guys, it's really, really, really important right now to just make these changes, and I'm just going to repeat it 300 times so you remember and start doing this little slight changes, and try to just find things you're grateful for, start to celebrate life. If there's nothing to celebrate yourself, and sometimes we'd say, oh, the world is so crazy, and it's like, how do I disconnect? But it's, if you look in the mirror, you will see the body and the mind and the spirit, and it's just, we just so used to ourselves, we're like, yeah, it's just like, I'm just a regular person. But if you look closely, you'll just see this intricate, sophisticated, amazing being, that it's like your body works without you even thinking about it. Your brain is like literally the most magical thing that ever happened to this world, when it comes to a human being, or your soul, your energy in general, something that you don't even see sometimes. This is out of this world, and it's just really hard to comprehend. There is so many layers to you. So maybe just start celebrating yourself or those around you, and start seeing good things about people you see around yourself, or start, like I said, with small things. Have this diary where you just put the things you're thankful for every day, like a gratitude like little book, or just ask yourself every day, or the significant other you live in, or your roommate, or your parent, whoever it is, just have this tradition asking, what was the good that happened today? So start shifting your perspective from something that you don't want to see, from something that was nice, and you'll notice that there is more nicer and better things that happen to you day by day, because you just kind of shift your focus. So another card we have here, Three of Wands. And like with this Two of Wands, Three of Wands it's to me, it's like a next step, in moving forward. So this card reminds you that if you have this choice to make, and if you want to move forward, it's time to do that. Finally, it's time to literally make this step, and you already know what to do. It says also, if you're starting some kind of a project, or like I said, if you want to kind of go into the next level in whatever endeavors you have, or in a relationship, maybe you're thinking about having a child, and you say maybe it's not the good time. The card says it is a good time. You need this new thing. You need this expansion, basically. This is the word I was looking for this whole reading. That's what you guys need in this lifetime. the expansion, even though the future energy here is four of swords, that says rest here and there, and I'm talking about celebration, being happy and joyful. This to me more like you need just to calm your mind and just have peace, feel peaceful within yourself, feel this clarity and like clear vision and inspired action. That's what I would also say, that's what you kind of need. And you kind of lost your inspiration because you kind of lost your sense of self. So in order to find it, start literally romanticizing yourself. If you live alone, if you live with somebody, start rediscovering yourself, because your view of yourself is like you see yourself every day. So you're kind of like, it's like it's really hard to see how far you've come or who you've become, because you literally, like, your view of yourself is, it looks like it's not changing because you're just so familiar with yourself. And it's the advice I gave the group one, if you have time, just sit and write down the things. Like, if you just met yourself for the first time, you know nothing about yourself, how would you introduce and what would you tell about yourself, to this somebody who you've never met? And then change the perspective, and on the other side, write down things of that person who doesn't know you, and how would they perceive you, what would they see you in your opinion, and then just kind of contemplate of how you think what you are, or what you want to bring to the table, what you think other people think of you, and start changing these things, start appreciating yourself more. Or ask maybe, your significant other, it's like, how do you view me here or there, and if it's different from how you want, have this conversation. It feels like you need to have more conversations, and you really need to have more, I would say, your people in your life. And you say, well, how do I find them? Well, in order to find them, you need to start recognizing your own beautiful things within yourself, so you can reflect and attract this kind of people. So for your oracle card, you have the oracle, sacred living, spirit speaking, intervention. Yeah, intervention. Like I said, you guys, some changes to be done here for sure. But also with this oracle card, it's very interesting. It's very interesting energy here of like clarity. Like I said, to me, oracle is all about clarity. She sees into things that other people can't, and it's pretty much you, like you. It's like you can't see yourself for who you are anymore, because everything is kind of stagnant and kind of the same, so it's time to start getting to know yourself again. And I want to read from this book, just to make sure I convey the message right. So number 31, oracle. To be the oracle is to be the one who stands between the divine and the earthly, to help the people to reconnect with their divine and to understand the language of the spirits. You perhaps once were the oracle, dwelling in the mountains, staring in the sacred smoke, seeing the visions and sharing the messages. Perhaps this was another lifetime, and you're remembering. But even so, within the lifetime, the power of read, to discern, to understand, and to share the language of the divine is with you now. You have within your skills of the oracle. It is time to reawaken them and to do the work. This is very interesting, guys, because it's this kind of what I felt as well, and what I was trying to say. There's a certain things of yourself that you don't really recognize in yourself anymore. This one literally says that you guys have this ability to read the energy and talk to spirit and recognize the symbols and like there's like a very spiritual sense to it, very, I would say, like esoterical understanding of things. So what I'm trying to say here is that you have this beautiful mind, and you can see things in a very different perspective. but you're kind of used to a certain way of doing things, you know. So now it's time to shift your perspective, to start looking at yourself from a completely different angle, because you guys have so much to bring. And I feel like this reading is all about just looking in the mirror and starting seeing yourself for who you really are, but not for who you're just used to be, I say, you know, or just, yeah, like this old habit of seeing yourself in a certain way, you know. Once you start doing this, others will recognize this beauty, and you will find this hidden gifts you have within yourself. There's definitely a spiritual gift you guys have. There's definitely some sort of like a clairvoyance or clear cognizance, or like a strong intuition, you know, thing. I'm sure you guys have, which I believe everyone have. So I don't like to say, you know, you have this gift or something. Everyone has a gift, but for you is more prominent. It feels like you've been just kind of not recognizing it, you know. So maybe just get more into this. But how do you start? I wouldn't even start with like, you know, with, you know, read something or do or certain things. Yes, definitely do certain you know, exercises or read something. But I feel like whenever it's time, all the information comes to you. So what I would start, if I were you, is with some joyous things and some little adventures and little changes, you know, slight changes in your routine, daily routine. I would definitely say some meditation and some just kind of clearing and quieting your mind, and yeah, just start recognizing yourself and looking at yourself from a different perspective, definitely. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If it did not really resonate, just click to another video, another group. And if you like this, just whatever thoughts you guys have, just leave them in the comments down below. I'll be really happy to talk to you and answer some questions you have, or maybe just, you know, share my opinions on whatever your thoughts are. Would be very interesting to have this conversation. Subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Hi, group 4. I'm doing this reading the next day, actually, because my first 3 readings were a little bit intense. So I decided to start fresh the next day. So the setup is a little bit different here, but I didn't look at the cards yet. I just left it the way it is so I can see it together with you here. So yeah, let's just start with your figurine. You chose this little laughing Buddha. And for this card, the energy I've actually had when I was picking up this symbol is that it comes a lot of place of frustration, or like just, yeah, I just felt like a little bit of frustration and a little bit of like need to just be uplifted a little bit, you know, and just have like more fun and feel a little happier. And that's why I chose, like, after when I was shuffling the deck, the energy I got. So I decided to pick this figurine to kind of make it, you know, more obvious. So this group probably needs some uplifting. We'll see. So here's your oracle cards, and I'm going to use them later. So here's your tarot cards. Your past energies is Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The present energy is 8 of Cups. And the future energy, the energy you're going towards, is 5 of Wands. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see. So for the clarifying cards, we have a few. It's 5 of Arrows, frustration. And Knight of Stone, the horse. Also, I felt like you guys need, when I was shuffling the deck, you're probably the only group that had 3. I have this advice cards, you know, I had 3, and usually I pick 2, but yours had 3, so I was like, probably this group needs some clarity right now. Okay, so the first card is Ace of Swords, Umabel, the god above all names elevated. Okay, we'll get to this later. Okay. 2 of Pentacles, Poiel, God who supports the universe, And King of Pentacles, Lehaya, I believe, the adored god. Interesting. I like this advice for you here. We'll see. So what I see here, yeah, with these two cards, I'm definitely picking up on this energy of frustration, but not. I mean, I said something about frustration. I just realized that you have this card that says frustration, and I mean, you're probably gonna have to just trust me, but I really didn't look at the cards before, and it makes a lot of sense now. This is the energy I felt, but looking at this spread here, it's not so much as frustration, but just kind of not knowing what's going to happen, what's there in the future, and it's just a common theme through all the four groups. And I guess it probably makes sense because the reading says what to do if I feel stuck or lost, right? So all the groups had the indicator that whatever you're coming from is not working and you have to move forward. But all the groups had like different reasons for that, right? So for you here, since I see a Wheel of Fortune, for you, I would say two things, and it will resonate for different people differently. The first one is that you were just kind of coming from a place where you were just living this routine life, kind of like a Groundhog Day kind of vibe, just kind of doing the same thing over and over again, grinding against whatever the circumstances, just trying to survive and just doing your thing. And you didn't feel like you are really in power in whatever you were doing, and this is very general. There is a lot of pentacles, so I would assume that it has a lot to do with job or some kind of money related issue, or something that's more grounded, more so than a relationship. It might apply to a relationship as well, but to this kind of relationship where you don't even feel the love anymore. It's just kind of the work, you do the same thing, and it's just kind of it. I would say the word I would use is dry. Like there is nothing going on. There's no like, cups represent water. It's water, and they represent feelings. So whenever the relationship is dry, this is how I feel. I describe when there's no feelings. Or I mean there is feelings, but not the kind that nourish you or helps you grow, like the water that helps, when you pour it into the soil, it helps growing, and the dry ones, it's just like there is a feeling, but it does not help you evolve, I would say. I mean, it does not help you evolve or grow or feel better, in a sense. So for this, and another thing I would say is probably you were in a situation where you didn't feel like you have any kind of power. Basically, it's just the circumstances were happening and you're like, oh, why is this happening, why is that happening? But I feel like it actually kind of, the first thing and the second thing is kind of the same thing. It's just like first you had this life and nothing kind of going on the way you want, and then you had this maybe series of things, of series of situations that was happening, and just kind of you were just completely outside of your control. You didn't know what to do. So whatever it is, it probably started with something that just stopped serving you. And I'll just get a clarifier just to see if it's the right thing I'm talking about here, just so we can have more. Yeah, the devil. Definitely there is some situation. It might be about a relationship, but like I said, it's not about the feeling itself. If it's a relationship, it's more of codependent kind of thing, so it's not actually the love. It's kind of the fear of being by yourself, and and all that stuff, if you look deep within. But more so, I feel like this whole situation for most of you is more about job or money related thing, or just things in general, materialistically speaking, I would say, right? The thing about the devil, as we can see here, is that these people, they were chained to the devil's this little podium he's sitting on. But the thing is that he's not holding the chains, which indicates the fact that you're actually free to go. It's just kind of your choice to stay. So this is your past. So your present energy is when you're deciding or thinking about, or the circumstances pushing you to go forward, to just leave something that maybe it's you used to it and it's kind of the same, maybe it's the same thing, but it's some sort of like a comfort zone where you're kind of used to it, and the universe is pretty much just pushing you out, or maybe you're just deciding to go and explore completely different thing, let this go and just go into the unknown pretty much. And I think I've said the same thing in a few other groups, because it's kind of like a similar energies here, In your case here, you are the ones who said, that's enough, I'm done, I want to leave, I don't want to do this anymore, that's it, right? But the thing is that where you're moving towards, and what this indicates is that you probably, the reason why it all was happening for you is that you didn't really know, there's a few indicators that says that you didn't really had this clear intention of like, I don't want to be here, but where do I want to be? What do I want to do? Like a clear intention of where exactly you would like to go, what exactly you'd like to have. You can tell me easily what you don't want to have, but if I ask you what do you want, and you say, well, I want, and then you just say abstract things, but when it comes to like certain things, some of you, I just kind of feel right now that some of you would tell, no, I exactly know what I want, but then ask yourself, do you believe you actually can have it? And another question is, do you really need the thing you want? So there is a lot of like, because the card, the five of wands is the card of it's like a little mess, I would say, like when it's really hard. And to me, a lot, this card speaks a lot about just not really having this clear vision of where do I want to head. And like I said, this guy goes into the unknown, and the future energy says, once, if you want to get wherever you want to get, you need to kind of sort things out. But we'll go to this later. We'll just look at these two cards. Here's the clarifiers. It's the Knight of Stones, the Horse, and the Five of Arrows, frustration, like we said, right? So the frustration card is an interesting indicator of, since this is five, and this is five. So the fives to me is always about ending something, or the need to end something, some sort of a cycle to just kind of move forward. It's like it's time to drop, it's time to stop and move forward. I mean, everybody has a different explanations for different numbers. This is how I feel the number five always. So whenever I see it here, and you can see it here and here, these people need to come to the agreement and do the certain thing. Here it's just literally this person just sending one arrow after another, and he's missing the goat, and it's a frustration. He feels the frustration, but it's a lucky day for the goat because he gets to still be alive. So what it says here, so this is a Five of Arrows, which is Five of Swords. So what these two cards tell me is that you guys were or are in a position where if you know what you want, I would say it's too much or too abstract, where you're just kind of like shooting your shots in different directions, and you don't like, and just in hopes you'll get to your aim, but you don't get there, and you get more frustrated. Instead of aiming, you try to rush, and you try to like, just grab onto whatever you feel like is familiar, I would say. Once you go into something unknown, you just try to grab onto things that like you've seen before, and you don't want to get back to the situation that you've been. And that's why you just like the frustration inside is growing pretty much, because this card, the Knight of Stones, in this deck, it's all about the speed as well. So this the horse, he's this is a young horse. He's just running, he's free, he wants to just do things and just run away, somewhere. And that's basically how you guys feel. You just want to run away, just leave the circumstances you're in, but you're like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, or I know what I want but I don't know how to get there, how to get it, and it just creates a lot of just internal conflict and like a lot of disagreement within yourself. It's really hard to comprehend of like, how do I get there, or what do I want? There's two questions. Some of you have one question of not knowing what you want. Some of you know what you want but you don't know how to get there, considering the fact that you are looking around. Oops, excuse me. Gesticulating a lot. So looking around and saying, oh, like this is the life I'm living right now. What do I do? How do I get out from this particular situation? So what I can tell you here is that definitely for you guys, the first thing I would do, being in your position, literally just look around and drop everything that you see and perceive as like, this is my reality, because you're kind of gotten I would say too much in this like matrix, that surrounds you. You're living this too much. You're caring about certain things that do not ask for your attention. You're just kind of looking for different things to maybe spending a lot of time on social media. Maybe you have people around you who are kind of draining your energy, bringing you to their own drama. And the reason it's happening because you don't really know what's going on and what to do in your life, so you kind of get invested in different things, and this is really frustrating for you. But the reason it's all happening is because you have this internal conflict basically within yourself, right? So I would try to start ignoring, like just little by little, invest less in things that are outside of your control. Start thinking, just go and write a list of things that, okay, whatever's happening in my life, what is truly outside of my control. Get this list and just remind yourself every day, looking at this list, that this is outside of my control, so I'm trying not to think about it. So whenever the thought comes about the certain thing in this list, you're like, I can't control it, so I can invest in it. Same thing I would do with things that you can actually control right now. The things I can control, the things I can change in my life. Put the list there, and if it's too big to comprehend or to understand what to do, try to just break it into smaller, goals and smaller things, smaller steps. Just like if you want to move somewhere, just start from just looking at apartments or houses, the prices of apartments or houses in a certain area, or just explore the area. Just go on Google, do the little steps first, because I feel like a lot of you are the kind of people who just see the world, and you have this wonderful dreams, you have the wonderful ideas, you're very smart, and I feel like you're very talented, but you doubt yourself so much. So you have this knowing within you, like, I know that I can get to a certain point that's huge, but the only thing you see is this huge, beautiful idea or desire, and it looks and it seems so far away, so you don't know how to get there. You're like, yeah, but like, I feel like it's gonna happen, but how do I get there? It's too far, I don't know what to do. So for you probably guys need a little bit more structure. This is why you have so many pentacles here. You see, you have here an Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles, and these three cards are basically an advice for you here, right? So what I would suggest, first of all, Ace of Swords, beautiful card. In this particular deck, let's just see here. It says, friendship and affinity and friendship, obtain the friendship of anyone. Interesting. So Two of Pentacles here, we have fortune and fame fulfills any request. Beautiful. So it's a little bit different from traditional tarot. And the King of Pentacles is obedience causes harmony, and peace calms anger in anyone. So yes, the thing about anger and frustration we talked about, in order to do this, just try to invest less in people's drama and the things that are outside of your control. This is one of the most important things for you to start be doing right now, because it's really hard to see a clear path when all you see is just bits of drama and just like unknowing, and probably you're surrounded by a lot of people that are just pretty uncertain in at the moment, and because we get what we project pretty much, right? So it seems to you in your bubble that, oh, it's everything is so uncertain, I don't know, and like you kind of get into the same thing. So you need to put yourself outside of all of the circumstances, because whatever you create comes from within, and we all know that. And I feel like you're starting to understand this, because it feels like this is why you want to move forward, right? Or move out of the situation. So for the advice here, I would say Ace of Swords. Judging by traditional tarot, I would say that it's always about the new idea, something new that will just come to you. But also to me, this card speaks a lot about clarity, and it's really a good indicator here, because the Ace of Swords is a new idea, it's a fresh start, but it's a fresh start that's coming from your mind. It's a clear mind, pretty much. It's a blank mind. You can even say, you can put anything, you can make anything out of it. So before you get to the point where you clearly see your path, you need to get to the place of stillness. And I feel like the Ace of Swords here indicates that. So try to meditate more, and like I said, try to see and just go through the list of things you can and cannot control, and just work through that, and it will give you some clarity, I'm sure. Also, the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is the card in this sense that it gives you, it says fulfills any request, right? So this is an interesting card. It's pretty much, and also in traditional tarot, Two of Pentacles is a card of balance. It's trying to balancing out between different circumstances. So to me, it says, whatever you're in, once you're putting yourself a little bit outside of this crazy circumstances you don't like, then accept whatever you are. Just say, you know what? Just start, I would say, maybe if you don't believe in it, pretend that you actually put yourself in this situation. Take the responsibility and say, whatever happened, I got to this certain place. I got to this position in on the first place. I decided to be here somehow, subconsciously choosing little things, but I got here because I got here. If it's a relationship that you're stuck, you chose to stay. And I'm not saying that all the blame is on you, but once you realize that whatever situation you're in, it's not just a bad luck or horrible circumstances, you just fell from the sky out of nowhere. And once you realize, okay, maybe from the higher perspective, this was a decision, I made the certain decision to work through certain things to get wherever I actually need to get, So once you start accepting the reality, little by little, saying, okay, this is the situation I'm in, and I fully accept and I take full responsibility for wherever I'm in right now, and whatever this situation and the circumstances are, I'm accepting this because I've created this. Now it's time to improve, right? And this card indicates that you'll see certain things start fall into place, certain circumstances. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. I feel like the circumstances, situations. So certain things will start falling into place, and you'll see clearer picture, and you'll see this little gifts, that will kind of little pieces of like bits of inspiration that you can just follow along, and you'll see this clearer path for yourself, And the King of Pentacles, this card obviously represents, wealth, and the King of Pentacles, he is the wealthy king, he knows how to deal with money and everything. And it seems like if you worry about money, and it feels like a lot of you are worrying about money, you guys have this, if you don't believe in it, this is the indicator. You guys have so much power to create money. I would even say that one of your parents, or maybe your parents, or maybe grandparents, some of your in your lineage somewhere, not that far, not like great grandparents or something, had money or had a better relationship with money. Something happened in your life, and I feel like it actually happened because you give away too much of your energy to other people and to other situations, so you don't have much for yourself. So that's why you struggle. And same thing here with a relationship or a job. You just spend too much time trying to prove something, or sorry, something happened here. Trying to prove something to someone, or just trying to how do I say it? yeah, basically just trying to prove something, or can't find this right word, just to feel that you're needed, probably. That's the thing to say. Also, I just gotta say, like, this whole spread has a lot of energy, because once I started, the smoke you see from my little incense, little my incense house, it just started to jump like crazy. And the same with the little flame um, of my candle. And it seems like I barely can find words, because there's just like, I feel this energy, and it's probably this group needs help the most. It feels like, it's just, you guys are kind of in a desperate situation. I feel like, there's something that is just like, I'm so done. I just have this like, mm, I don't know, very hyped right now. Just, I have, it's even really for me to find the right words. Like this card, it's just like there's so many thoughts coming at once. So I kind of feel the energy you're in right now. So the King of Pentacles is telling us to ground. We need to ground. We need to, if you don't like doing workouts or something like that, just try to walk at least. You need to or if you do some sort of art or something like that, just go and do and create something. So you just need to put aside some time, and you'd say, oh man, this crazy position, I don't have time for this. Find time for this, invest your time for this, because you need to ground. Find the ground practices. Meditation is a good one. Working out is a good one. Sex is amazing if you have this opportunity. But whatever it is, try to ground yourself, because it feels like, because once I've gotten a little bit more into your energy, it's literally just this tornado of thoughts and just like circumstances and things, and it seems like it's really hard to find your way through. So this card indicates you have what it takes to get through. And I mean, I obviously, probably a lot of pick a card readings you're watching saying the same thing to you. You have what it takes to get through that. But it's true. At the end of the day, you wouldn't be in a situation, you will never be in a situation you can't work through, or you can't overcome, if you don't like it. So it's more so about, it seems like you just got entangled in just I would say tornado of just different situations. And most of those, and this is why I'm urging you to just put this list of things that outside of your control, because most of those things are not yours to even work through or think about. Once you have this list, you'll see how much less you actually have to work through. And once you have this list of things you can actually control, start finding smaller and smaller steps towards working towards overcoming and moving closer to those. Also, like I said, please think about things you want, and if you don't really know what you want exactly, start from that. If you don't know how to get to the point of like, oh, I don't even know what I want anymore, I would tell you how to do it. It's pretty, I mean, it's not pretty easy, but one of the things that always helps me to find what I want is just to follow the inspiration, or remember when I was the last time I was inspired. Maybe when I was a kid, maybe a few years ago, when I was inspired to do certain things. And just if you like a little fairy, I would say, if you jump from one like jumping from a flower, or maybe a wasp or a bee, sorry, just jump from one flower to another, from one inspiration to another, and it will actually lead you to things you to kind of unlock this things you actually want and can get in your life. So there's that. Also, let me see what oracle cards you guys have. So you have the Seer, future prospects, decisions to make, seeking guidance. Okay, like I said, your guys are seeking this guidance right now because you really don't know what to do. Fairy energy, growth, expansion, and flowering. That's very interesting. And Yeah, it's I probably have to for the next videos I have to shuffle the deck because I just love when coincidences like this happen when I just talked about the fairy and like I said, I haven't sent the cards, and this is pretty much what it is, you know. And this card is very interesting because this card actually tells you about that you're about to start something new, and the fairy gives you this light of inspiration to get wherever you want to grow, you know. So just follow the inspiration, try to remember, because it feels like you don't even remember what you are anymore, you know, at this point, because it's just like there's just crazy things happening. Not even crazy things, it's more like for some of you a lot of things happening, for some of you a lot of things are just in your head too much, you know. So you kind of start forgetting who you actually are, you know. So it's time to, you know, go back home and, you know, within yourself and find whatever you actually are. This is amazing card, as well as this one. It says, you know, it says you're seeking guidance, but you're guys yourself, the seer. You can actually see and predict certain things for yourself. It seems like some of you have a very high, strong intuition, but you kind of stop. And I feel like you used to believe in your intuition, and at a certain point when something happening, when it's just you don't have time to understand what it is, you know, you stop listening to your gut feeling, you stop listening to what actually your intuition tells you, and it always tells you. If you just find this place of peace and quietness, you will realize one thing for sure, that you're actually already know what to do, and deep inside you know. It's just for some of you it's scary to move forward. For some of you, uh, for most of you, it's probably just a scary thing to move forward. Some of you say, oh yeah, I feel, but I don't know what to do. Just step by step, you know, baby steps. This is what I feel like. Just start making baby steps, because this card, this is one of the my favorite cards in this deck, because it clearly says that your path is clear, and once you open up, just, you know, you start listening, all the ideas you need, this Ace of Swords, you know, will come to you. Don't wait for the ideas. Just start moving forward little by little, from one little inspiration to another, and I tell you, within a week, within 10 days, you can actually feel and start seeing the changes for yourself. um, so let me just get a clarifier for this Five of Wands here. And yeah, we'll see what else I can tell you guys, because I feel like some of you are not really convinced with whatever I'm saying, even though it's been 30 minutes. Okay, let me see. What is it? Okay, there's so many cards here. Okay, what is it group 4 needs to hear about the future? Let me just clarify just to see. Okay, so I have, okay, there's 3 cards that popped out. All right, so we'll just use them all. So 7 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, which is Ace of, okay, you had an Ace of Swords here, so there's Ace of Pentacles, and 10 of Cups. This is pretty much, it feels like, I mean, like everyone else in your life, people want to be wealthy, people want to be happy in their relationship and, you know, their marriage, or just have love, you know, that makes them happy, to have a family, and, you know, to be recognized in their job, just to be appreciated in whatever you guys are doing, you know. So this is where you're moving towards. This tells, once you realize what exactly it is, you know, and stop chasing all the things at once, you start to getting there one by one. Here it shows, you know, first that probably for some of you, the relationship will come, even though for some of you would say, oh, I need money, but this thing will come first. Somebody in your life will come. There is a support group that will come first. Then, because the Ace of Swords here is talking about the friendship as well. So once you start being more open, you know, there's going to be new people, that your soul tribe, you know, as people say, this your tribe, you know, the people that will actually understand and appreciate you, they'll start following, you know. And if you're not in a relationship, there's a person will come. And if you are in a relationship and you're pretty happy about it, and you're just not happy about something else, so you'll skip here and you'll go to the money situation, you know. But this card's talking about standing your ground, you know, and just being like, if you are in a situation where you have to stand your ground, for some of you I would say from certain situations, just walk away. There is no need to explain things anymore. It's probably not going to work out for this certain people. So just find your grounds and just kind of move on. um yeah, I feel like it's just a beautiful spread right here. So once you truly make up your mind to leave and let all this go behind, once you start to see clearer what you want, and it's pretty easy, you don't have to actually do anything. Just sit, write down, contemplate, start making little steps, and you'll see how things will start falling into place. And this is a beautiful picture for you. Yeah, I feel you guys. The energy you've been through was a little bit crazy, because after during this group reading, I'm getting pretty, like I said, it was so much different energy, and it's just very getting pretty tired right now. And I feel how I can't even imagine how you guys feel, because it feels like it's just a nonstop, just crazy BS, happening. Mm, for a lot of you, like I said, in your mind. So I just kind of started to even lose my words, like sense of like, what am I saying? Where am I going? So I feel feel what you guys are feeling. But like I said, if we're all just ground and we all just start following our inspiration and let go of things that are outside of our control, you will start seeing a clearer path. And if you needed a confirmation that whatever you're going in the right direction, you guys going in a very good direction. Like I said, once you let this all go, you have the 10 of cups. It's just an ultimate happiness. You'll be happy, you'll be in a relationship, you'll have kids if you don't, if that's the question. This is a beautiful family. I love this. The money will come, and the new idea probably that relates to money. And I feel like it's going to be a new business or something, or some entrepreneurship or something. It relates for you being more, as well as with this King of Pentacles, being more independent. This is where you're moving towards, definitely. I mean, probably not everyone, but I feel like most of you are thinking about it, and I feel like this is a very right decision for you. So if you don't have this idea yet, something will come, or at least if this is a job, it's going to be something that will give you substantially more freedom than you have right now doing whatever you're doing, and there's going to be a lot more money for sure. As well as this, you'll feel more appreciated. Because for some of you, another thing, you just don't feel appreciated. You just give, and nobody says thank you. So, and instead of waiting for this appreciation, start appreciating yourself and start saying, do I actually have the energy to give right now? Can I actually give this? Or maybe I should just invest in myself a little bit, and once I'm in the position of power, or I feel more powerful, I can give after that. Oh, yeah, guys, this was a very intense reading for me, at least. I hope I got the energy right, and yeah, just comment down below if you've had this, if it resonates, and yeah, I'm very interested. It's very interesting for me to hear your stories and just to kind of see where you guys are going, and how it actually works out for you, because it seems like uh, if it even seems that it's just you're stuck and you don't know what to do, it feels like you're already moving out from this situation, and it feels like it's pretty close here. Like, you don't have to wait much. It's just all about just finding this center, this balance within yourself, and just making little steps, like I said, because I feel like you're just very you just think big picture. So for your brain, it's really hard to comprehend, like, okay, this is a big picture, I love it, but how do I get there? It's really hard to understand, right? So I hope I gave you some clarity, guys. I hope you like this reading, and if you liked it, just give me thumbs up or follow. It's a new channel, I would really appreciate it. And it's a timeless reading, like I said, but whenever you're watching this, I hope you guys get some clarity, and just comment, and I'll try to respond to everyone, because I'm really just hoping that whatever job I'm doing here will bring you more clarity and help you move forward. Especially for you guys, it's time to recognize your gifts, and just stop giving things and your energy to people that do not deserve it, or situations that do not deserve it anymore. It's all gonna be fine, and I understand that probably a lot of tarot readers would say it, but it truly seems amazing, in the future. Just follow this little like my pieces of advice I gave you, and I hope it will help you guys. I don't even want to say goodbye, because I just feel like this group is just on some level, maybe I just know, how you guys feel, because I've had this certain situation in my life, a few times, and I'm like, oh, I've been there. I feel for you, but it's gonna get better, it's always darkest before the dawn eventually. So hope it resonates and helps you guys. Love and light for you all. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.